We've all been there, girls, haven't we? That moment when we feel like, oh my gosh, this man is into me. Oh. And then a month goes by, maybe two, and we find ourselves thinking there's a shift, there's a change. And somehow deep inside our gut, we know that he's changed his mind about us. But we don't know what we did, what happened. Things were going beautifully. So what's changed his mind? I will see you right after this. Hello, my name is Chengi. I am your dating and relationship expert here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, where we're here to teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high status, high worth woman, but also educate you on the dynamics that make up a relationship, how to get one, how to keep one. It's really about skill, it's an art, and it's intuition. But here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, we will teach you all the skills that you need to win in the game of love. So let's get on with this video. 5 reasons why he may have changed his mind about you. Usually when a dynamic in a relationship shifts, and this could be after marriage, while you're dating, there's a shift in your partner's energy. Now, whenever there is a shift in dynamic, we sometimes feel that that dynamic has shifted because of something that we did, didn't do, said, didn't say. But often the dynamic shifts because sometimes we shift first. So we have to understand that an individual partner in a couple can do something, have a change of heart, and therefore shift the whole dynamic of the relationship. It's about relationship dynamics. Now, usually this happens with us women when we get really comfortable. When we get comfortable in a relationship with a man and we feel like, I got him, we start to do less, be less. We start to abandon some of our hobbies and some of the habits that we had that made us fantastic. Maybe we don't go to the gym as much. Maybe we kind of eat more easily because we're feeling like he's not going anywhere. We're here. And actually, it's very difficult for a person to say, hey, you know, I love you and I care about you, but this new thing, I'm not feeling it. Because in relationships, often, and especially men, feel that they just have to accept whatever's presented to them. Often they feel like if they were to say, well, you've changed, you're a little bit more mean to me lately, or you have let yourself go, or you no longer have passion. The things that drew me to you, they're no longer part of your life. Sometimes a man won't and will not articulate it because, well, he doesn't want to jeopardize the sexual stability with you, but he also doesn't want to hurt your feelings because we know that masculine energy men cherish a woman's feelings. And so he will just change his mind. Now, if you're in a dating dynamic and you're still seeing each other and there's no commitment, well, what he's going to do is start to go cold or start to pull away or even end the relationship. And it will feel for you as though it is suddenly, but actually it was triggered, and this process and this dynamic was triggered when you stop being yourself. You know, we need to continue to hold on to our passions. This is why it's so important that we have a life that is juicy, that is lovely, a life we enjoy, a life that we're passionate about, and that we hold on to that life as much as possible. That doesn't mean that we don't maneuver and make room and space for the man in our lives. It's about us understanding that when a man meets you, everything about you, your aura, your energy, your sparkle, the way you look, that is what he is falling for. That is what he is inviting into his life. And when we let our light dim, he will change his mind. And I want you to know something. Just as you and I have the right to change our minds, so do our partners. We dated and related more with our partners, knowing that they will and can and have every right to change their minds about being in a relationship with us. We would be more diligent to maintain a status and a posture throughout the relationship. So if you are in a marriage, if you are in a committed relationship, then of course he's going to start shifting and changing some of his ways. Perhaps the intimacy begins to shift. He becomes particularly busy. He starts to feel emotionally unavailable, distant. And in some cases, he may start to do things that are painful and hurtful because he is genuinely trying to push you away. This doesn't make it right, But this is for us to understand that we can take this opportunity to check ourselves. Who was the woman that my husband met? What was she doing? Some of us had thriving careers. We were doing well. We were enjoying ourselves. We got married and thought, that's it. I'm going to park that, put that on the side and become a housewife. But that is not the woman he was attracted to. That's not to say that most men would not rather their wives be the primary caregivers of their children. And most men will love to see you happy and driven and doing that if that is a choice that you want to make. But often many of us just abandon a career and become another child, another liability, another nagging person in his life, rather than a super mom, a mom that does great things, a mom who is stay at home and does great things for her kids and has so much to share and really is still got that vibrancy. Many of us, we just abandon that ship.
Simple steps to join Black Swan community. Download the Black Swan app from either Google Play Store or Apple Store. Launch the app and tap on register. Put in your valid information, then tap on continue. Put in the verification code sent to your email to authenticate your account. Then log into your account. Be sure to accept all permissions displayed at installation stage to enjoy all the cool features in the app. You can now enjoy a community of high-value women with support from coaches and trainers. Book calls with coaches, chat, post, and interact with the community. Enjoy!
The next reason a man can change his mind is, sadly, for you or for myself, is that he finds something that he considers to be better. This can happen to those of us in a relationship, in a committed relationship, in a marriage, or those of us who are dating. You see, there are no guarantees when it comes to matters of the heart. One can have a character that is solid, stick to their decisions, and become that man that we all adore. But in many cases, and in some cases, some people, men and women alike, we will change our minds when we think we've found something better. The moment we feel we've located something better, we will change our minds. Good, bad, or indifferent, it is what it is. As humans, we will always strive to do what is best for us. If he's changed his mind and he has found somebody better, you're gonna feel it in your gut. In this instance, I don't even want you to waste any time, effort, or energy trying to convince him otherwise. If somebody has changed their minds, again, the solution is to go inward and say, who am I? What is my value? What is my worth? And what do I deserve? If at this point, none of that is on the table, then it doesn't matter if he's found somebody else. It's not time for you to go through his phone, stalk him on Instagram, find out about what he's doing, hire a private detective. It's really about you going inwardly and saying, you know what? I deserve better. This behavior is not acceptable to me, and I need to decide what I'm prepared to deal with. Obviously, if you're in a committed marriage, in a relationship that is long-term, there's an opportunity for you to start going to therapy by yourself. Start working on yourself. Start doing that work on yourself. And that feels like, isn't that just being passive and letting crap go unchecked? Not really. The truth is, wasting time on changing somebody is indeed exactly that. A waste of time. We cannot change anyone, and we cannot choose decisions for them that they're not choosing for themselves. An attempt to do that will cost you many of your good years. What's important is to make yourself the woman that you are proud to be, and let him decide whether he will change his own mind or not. No one can change another person's mind, especially in a relationship. What we can do is inspire, seduce, and try and make the other person truly see our worth. But the only way we can do that in a healthy way is to remind ourselves of our worth. The next thing that may make him change his mind is a culture of rudeness and disrespect. A lot of us go on dates, we call it sarcasm, we think it's funny, think it's a joke, and we're actually rude and disrespectful. He might think it's cute because he wants to get into your knickers. Many men will enjoy rude and disrespectfulness from a woman when they just want one thing. When they want to get into her knickers, they want to get into her panties, they will endure it. But they will change their minds when it comes to anything that seems to be permanent. They will not commit on a long-term basis, because at the end of the day, one of the things that men cannot abide by, especially masculine men, is rudeness and disrespect. And let's face it, we're talking about men here, but how many of us can abide by rudeness and disrespect? Very few people in a relationship can abide by this. But as women, we can get emotional about it and we can endure it and decide we love him anyway. So even though he's rude and disrespectful, men unfortunately do not make decisions about long-term partnerships in an emotional way. And so he will change his mind because he feels this is not something that I can take into my future. The next one is, well, some guys never came to stay. This was their exit strategy from the beginning. They intended to come, to pretend as if they were here to stay, but actually they were not really committed. They wanted to hit it, quit it, get what they wanted and get out of the way. The changing of their minds and the changing of their posture and the changing of their energy and the sudden change is really them being jerk enough for you to walk away. Some men are cowardly and they don't want to just say, I don't want to be here anymore. And so he changes his mind and comes across as though maybe you did something wrong. Obviously, this is very narcissistic in its tendency. It is a trait that really speaks of an underdeveloped human. Whenever we use those sort of tactics, it means that we haven't developed ourselves and our womanhood and our manhood enough to articulate what is really important. In this instance, ask yourself, do you really want a guy like that? Do you want a man that cannot articulate his needs and his desires to you? Do you want a man who plays those sort of games? Because here's the thing, ladies. If he's going to play the games during courtship, if he's going to play the games during the dating phase, he will absolutely play these games as your husband. You will live in a home and in a family with a hot and cold man, a man who is one day great and the other day not great. This is not going to serve your nervous system. I always say to my clients, everything you need to know about a man, you'll find out from the beginning. It shows up from the beginning. You don't need to wait because the red flags you ignore, the things you decide to deal with and cope with in the beginning are the things that will come and plague you in a marriage. It's definitely worth considering, okay, he's changed his mind. Maybe this is an opportunity for me to change mine too. Often when a man changes his mind, we rush, we want to go towards him, we want to earn, we do more, we start to work harder for his attention. But maybe, just maybe, we can sit back and think, perhaps as he has used his right to change his mind, I could do the same. Maybe I could change my mind. Maybe I could change my mind about what I think I've been deserving. Maybe I can change my mind about what I think is possible for me. Maybe I can change my mind about what I really truly want. Because in truth, if you have a man who's changing his mind, let's face it, girls, you're miserable. You're miserable because you don't know. And chances are you've been miserable longer than you've been aware. Chances are you felt a shift in the energy way before, and maybe you didn't have the skills to communicate. And I can help you. If you are in that stage in your life where you're wondering, where are the skills that I can use to communicate non-verbal actions? How can I communicate energy? How can I actually bring things that are unspoken into the spoken and do it in a high value feminine way? Well, I've got you. We got you here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy. You can download and enroll in the How to Talk to Men So They Listen Masterclass, where in there, I will teach you how to call things from the non-verbal into the verbal and actually have a useful conversation. Catching it when it starts is usually an effective thing to do. And so we want to be able to catch it, but that comes with a degree of self-awareness and confidence in a relationship. If you are not a confident woman, if you don't know your worth or your value, well, you're going to be tempted to be silent, to be quiet and cope with it and not actually say, my darling, I can sense from the way that you are moving, feeling in the energy of this relationship, something is wrong. Do you want to tell me what it is? I'm sensing that you've had a change of heart. Is there anything I can do to help us do better? And this is the work of Dr. Pat Allen, and I go into it in depth, giving you examples in the How to Talk to Men So They Listen, giving you other communication skills too for all areas of your relationship. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you on my next one. In the meantime, do take care of you. Bye-bye now. Well done for coming to the end of this video. What I want to ask you is, what have you learned? What is your takeaway? And what are you going to start practicing right away? Those three things are how you are going to get the best out of every class here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy. Please put it in the comments so that we can all have a look. So I can have a look, the coaches can have a look. And I promise you, we read every comment. We may not be able to reply to every comment, but we read all of your comments and we want to see how you are growing. And we will see you on the next video.